Tonight, cyclone watch. Perth prepares for some wild weather with ex-tropical cyclone Narelle expected to reform off the coast and head south. A man charged over a petrol station hit and run as the worsening oil crisis leaves hundreds of Australian outlets without fuel. Supermarket supplies hit amid a warning to customers. Expect further disruptions and higher prices. Donald Trump once again backs down at the last minute, this time over threats to blow up Iran's energy grid. And the world's first project to help bring native birds back to a WA island.
This is 10 News Perth with Natalie Forrest.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. Perth could be in for a wet and wild weekend with ex-tropical cyclone Narelle set to reform and intensify off the WA coast. She could hit anywhere between Exmouth and the metro area and potentially see a repeat of Cyclone Seroja that slammed into Kalbarri.
After causing widespread flooding and damage across far north Queensland and the Northern Territory, ex-tropical cyclone Narelle now has WA in her sights.
The winds are coming and going, but as I'm sure you can see now, it is starting to pick up again.
But we have had cyclones traverse the whole country before. We think it is quite rare and unusual to have it re-intensify into a severe tropical cyclone 3 times.
The system is expected to strengthen as it tracks along the Pilbara coast tomorrow into Thursday, becoming a severe Category 4 cyclone. But exactly when and where it will make landfall is still unknown. Narelle could cross anywhere between Exmouth and Perth and is at least expected to bring wet and windy weather to the metro area as early as Friday.
The crossing area is from Exmouth southwards, so we're saying anywhere along the west coast basically. So it really does depend on when it turns and, when it eventually crosses.
Opening up potential for an unusually southern crossing with Cyclone Seroja devastating Kalbarri as a Category 3 system in 2021.
So it will weaken, but there is the possibility that it could be a tropical cyclone when it crosses the coast. Should it come that far south towards Geraldton and those kind of areas, but it is expected to be on the lower end.
Narelle will be the 5th cyclone to hit WA this season, the system dropping 160 millimetres on an already drenched Kimberley with flood warnings in place.
It's a matter of wait and see, and we encourage everyone to stay up to date.
Cindy Lavrenchik, 10 News.
The man accused of running down a service station attendant over an unpaid bill will remain behind bars. It comes as the federal government confirms hundreds of service stations around the country, including some in WA, have run dry.
A fuel fight that left a man in hospital.
Why ruin your life over something like fuel?
Glenn McCaw charged with dangerous driving occasioning grievous bodily harm. 9-year-old drove off without paying and ran down an attendant who tried to stop him. Today, a magistrate described the allegations as extremely serious, with a very likely term of imprisonment.
We'll allege the car had false number plates on, and we were able to identify the original car and the original plates and where it may be, and that's exactly where it was.
To risk someone else's life just to get a few dollars of fuel, it's crazy.
Police say there's been a growing number of fuel thefts as prices soar. Tomorrow, the cost of unleaded will hit almost $2.70 at some Perth petrol stations, diesel to break the $3 barrier. It comes as the federal government confirmed more than 500 service stations across the country have run out of at least one type of fuel. 6 in WA, completely dry.
But there is relief on the way for those reliant on diesel. The federal government announced it will lower the flashpoint for the fuel by 1 degree. A small change it hopes will make a big impact on supply for at least the next 6 months.
Which provides a little more flexibility to importers as to what diesel we can import into Australia, and a little more flexibility for refiners to switch between fuels as well.
We do, understand the government's doing what it can, but at the same time we need to do more because there generally are farmers and communities out there in Australia that are out of fuel.
James Broadhurst, 10 News.
The fuel crisis is also starting to hit shops and supermarkets. We're being warned supply issues will not only see some products run out, but the soaring cost of diesel will be passed on to customers.
It's not toilet paper this time, but supermarket shelves are running bare once more.
Notice things are not on the shelves and people talking about panic buying. Greek yogurt and cottage cheese, this is like one of the things I'm looking for right now that I cannot find.
It just adds to the rising prices. It's another factor.
Pasta and some dairy products running low. Early signs high fuel prices are filtering from the pump to the pantry.
Well, it's inevitable. There's going to be some supply shortages. Obviously, farmers can't access fertiliser and the Trans-Australian Rail being closed. I think, we've hit a bit of a perfect storm and we're going to see more of these supply shortages happening.
Nearly all products on supermarket shelves are transported by road at some point in the supply chain. But with diesel prices in Perth hitting $3, rural transport workers are struggling to keep deliveries moving.
Went through a country town this morning. It was $3.45 for diesel. It's scary. If you haven't got the amount of fuel that you need to do the job, how do you go about doing it?
Retail worker advocates warn the supply issues could trigger a return to COVID-style panic buying, fearing it could also lead to more abuse directed at staff.
There was no need for it then. There's no need for it now. There will be disruption. It'll take a while for fixes to flow through the supply chain. But meanwhile, the important thing is for the community not to panic.
Abby Bruce, 10 News.
Iran says Donald Trump's claim the regime is ready to end the war is fake news. It comes after the US president backed down at the last minute once again, this time over a threat to annihilate Iran's power plants.
Conflicting claims of progress towards peace as the bombs keep falling. Another twist in this war, Donald Trump detouring to Elvis Presley's Graceland mansion today.
That came out pretty good.
Attempting to shift focus as he backed down on his self-imposed deadline, postponing planned strikes on Iran's power plants for 5 days.
And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
He claims American officials have held high-level talks with a top Iranian leader, but not the new Ayatollah. The US president describing the conversations as productive.
They want peace. They've agreed they will not have a nuclear weapon.
Iran says that is a lie. State media describing Trump's statements as false.
Well, they're going to have to get themselves better public relations people. We have had very, very strong talk.
The country's parliamentary speaker lashing out. No negotiations have been held with the US. Fake news is used to manipulate the financial and oil markets. Exchanges across the world rallied today, the ASX rebounding after yesterday's drop to a 10-month low.
President Trump is extremely sensitive to the markets. This announcement seems to have calmed the markets a bit, but it's also bought him some time.
Iran is still weaponising the Strait of Hormuz, but the US president believes the key shipping route will fully open very soon. As for who will control it...
Maybe me. Maybe me. Me and the Ayatollah, whoever the Ayatollah is.
The sprawling conflict continues to spread, with the death toll climbing towards 3,000 and more military power moving in. The US sending additional sailors to the region, while potential ground troops have been ordered to prepare to deploy. John Paul Gonzo, 10 News.
Australia and the European Union have signed a historic free trade agreement. It comes after 8 years of negotiations and promises to bring down the price of European goods here at home. But farmers have slammed the deal.
Pop the Prosecco.
Time to celebrate.
King Valley winemaker Brown Brothers is delighted the name can stay.
Prosecco in Australia will stay Prosecco, and the consumers out there will know what they're picking up when they see Prosecco on the shelf.
Australia is now the only country outside of Italy allowed to use the label indefinitely, but only on bottles here, with a ban on selling Australian Prosecco overseas to be phased out over 10 years.
We're disappointed to see access to markets removed for Prosecco exporters, but ultimately these things are made in the national interest.
95% of all Australian Prosecco made in Australia is drunk here. So we need to celebrate that as a win.
It's the result of a long-awaited free trade agreement with the European Union, today sealed after 8 years of negotiations.
This agreement is worth $10 billion to the Australian economy
on an annual basis.
It has been hard yakka, but we finally got there.
The biggest sticking point was over how much tariff-free red meat Australia could sell to the European market. The deal guarantees 35,000 tonnes of beef and 30,000 tonnes of lamb and mutton.
This deal must go down as the worst trade deal ever.
4,000, 35,000. That is the difference.
But still well below what farmers had been hoping for, arguing New Zealand and Canada cut a better deal.
It really is hard to stomach.
We would have said to them, well, just leave us out for the moment until we can negotiate something bigger that's better for our generations going forward.
We shouldn't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. We think this is the best deal that we're going to get.
In return, Aussies should see cheaper French champagne, Belgian chocolates, Italian pasta and luxury electric vehicles.
The leaders are upfront about it. This announcement is pushing back on President Donald Trump's tariffs.
Great powers are using tariffs as a leverage and supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited.
We stand for free and fair trade.
Chloe Boris, 10 News.
Time to get an early look at sport now with Lachy, Reid and Lock. The AFL's keeping an eye on Cyclone Narelle.
Yeah, absolutely. Nat, the Dockers have a game on Saturday at Optus Stadium. Plus, we have Freo and the Eagles injury lists. Also, more taunting talk, advice for Patrick Voss from our man Hayes. And another freak show from Victor Wembanyama. The Spurs continue their run, hammering the Heat. He plays basketball like I do.
Does he? That's a big call. Big call.
He's a big man.
He is. Thanks. Still to come on 10 News Perth. Deadly mistake. Is an air traffic controller responsible for a fatal mix-up at a New York airport? And Aussie retailer Myer makes a remarkable turnaround.
The big head honchos are dangerous.
You don't want to miss
Treat them like venomous snakes. Take down a big player.
this epic move.
I'm the snake charmer around here.
Survivor tonight on 10.
Lancôme. New Rénergie Collagen Lift Extend Cream. A unique thread-like texture, 10 years of collagen loss, and tightened skin in just 4 hours. Lancôme. You mastered your mind. And all the while, you were on the train home. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Download the Saily eSIM app and stay connected while travelling. Save big on roaming charges. Stay connected on your vacation in more than 200 destinations. Pick a flexible mobile data plan. Get the Saily eSIM deal now.
Forget the fad flavours.
What's wrong with me?
And get the fabulously fresh, baked today hot cross buns this Easter at Baker's Delight.
Get 4 items for just $6.95 with Macca's McSmart Meal. Grab a cheeseburger, small fries and soft drink, plus choose your favourite side. Available every day for just $6.95.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Forester. Built to power you through any adventure. Starting from $48,990 recommended drive-away price. It's you and Subaru for a world discovered.
There's a new way to own your own home. With the Help to Buy scheme, the Australian Government can contribute up to 40% of the purchase price. To learn more, visit firsthomebuyers.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Why stay frozen to an expensive car insurance provider, especially when you can get 15% off your Budget Direct car insurance if you buy it online?
As they say, always quote Budget Direct first.
Insurance solved with Budget Direct. There are wedding bells on the hot seat.
$1 million? What will you do with that?
I will go to the wedding, I reckon.
Gladys, any words of advice? Just get it right.
Just get it right.
Which country's capital is the only one to begin with the letter Q?
Good afternoon, Christy here taking a first check of your latest Perth traffic. And there is a broken down truck in Victoria Park on Shepparton Road, southbound of Gresham Street. The left lane is blocked through their traffic, busy on the approach. Also a broken down truck too in Munster, Rockingham Road northbound, just near Russell Road. That's off in the left emergency lane, be mindful. There is a crash in Brentwood on the Leach Highway on-ramp to Kwinana Freeway northbound. The right lane is closed through there. And emergency works underway in Innaloo, Scarborough Beach Road closed in both directions at Grant Street. Every minute of every day, a child is admitted to hospital. Help make it a happier place with a $30 donation to the Starlight Foundation every month. Donate today at starlight.org.au. More traffic soon.
It's feared a dire shortage of air traffic controllers may have contributed to a deadly crash at New York's LaGuardia Airport. New footage has emerged of the collision that killed both pilots, and we warn viewers may find it confronting.
Still travelling at more than 160 kilometres an hour after landing, the Air Canada Express jet had no chance of stopping when a fire truck crossed into its path.
It felt like we hit a wall. I mean, it was a sharp bang. That's why everybody was so bruised up.
So violent, it threw flight attendant Solange Tremblay from the wreck and onto the tarmac, found alive, still strapped in her seat. With both pilots killed and dozens of passengers and crew injured, they started helping each other escape.
Over 43 people to the hospital during the evening, though many have been released at this time.
It was a routine movement.
Truck 1 in company with LaGuardia Tower requesting to cross.
But granted permission set in motion an impending disaster.
Stop, truck 1, stop.
Neither vehicle could. Investigators are now examining black box data recovered from the crash site. Every second of information will be scrutinised.
2 young pilots left their homes expecting to return to their families, and they will not.
It's been a torrid couple of years for the American aviation industry, with multiple fatal crashes, a significant uptick in near-miss incidents, and critical staffing shortages in safety roles, most notably air traffic controllers.
LaGuardia is a very well-staffed airport. We're a couple controllers short in total.
One left to take apparent responsibility for one decision in that chair.
That wasn't good to watch.
Yeah, I know I was here. I tried to reach out to my stuff, and we were dealing with an emergency earlier, and I messed up.
No, man, you did the best you could.
In the United States, Catherine Firkin, 10 News.
Myer has bucked a decline in retail sales to post a half-yearly profit. It credits a boom in loyalty members and new mid-priced fashion brands to help its turnaround.
Myer has been a part of Australia's retail fabric for more than 125 years. And despite predictions online retail would destroy department store shopping, Myer has found a way to keep bricks and mortar viable.
Myer store.
In its half-yearly report, Myer's profits rose. The publicly listed company posted a before-tax profit of $112.8 million, up 10.5%.
Shows that the Myer business really has two businesses now, the Myer store that we're all accustomed to walking into, and then a group of retail brands.
Brands such as Portman's, Just Jeans, Dotty, Jackie E and JJ's now under Myer's ownership following a 2024 deal with Australian billionaire Solomon Lew.
I think it's an interesting move, picking up some extra apparel brands, particularly in that mid-tier fashion sector.
La Mer, Topshop and Gap also recently joined the Myer family.
They may bring in some more brands into their portfolio within their stores, so this avoids having to find retail space.
The boom in profits also follows an overhaul of the Myer One loyalty program, boosting membership by 400,000, taking the total number to 5.1 million. Myer Executive Chair Olivia Wirth said the first half 2026 result reflects momentum across the business as it continues to implement the Myer Group growth strategy.
Clearly, we've got several 100,000 new members, and they've been picked up by those extra apparel brands.
And for the first time in more than a year, Myer has reinstated an interim dividend and will pay out 1.5 cents per share. But Australia's largest department store will need to adapt to maintain its membership boom.
Bringing in a newer, younger consumer from those apparel brands will sort of increase their numbers.
Jack Perry, 10 News.
And yet another sign of the growing climate crisis. The World Meteorological Organisation has confirmed 2015 to 2025 were the hottest 11 years on record.
In 2025, our glaciers continued to retreat and ice continued to melt.
When history repeats itself 11 times, it is no longer a coincidence. It's a call to act.
The Meteorological Agency also said a record number of greenhouse gases were found in the atmosphere in 2024. Time for the weather now with Lee Steele. And Lee, there's still some uncertainty over ex-tropical cyclone Narelle.
There is now, and that includes where and when it will make landfall and at what strength. Right now, the system is a tropical low, driving huge falls and strong winds over our northwest before it'll move offshore. Parts of the Kimberley recording 200 millimetres in 24 hours. Narelle will move off the Pilbara coast tomorrow and Thursday in warm waters, so favourable conditions for a cyclone, and it's likely to re-intensify into a severe tropical cyclone and track south before making a coastal crossing for the fourth time between Exmouth and Perth. A quick look at the city's weather now. We had a low of 17 degrees with most suburbs warming into the mid-high 20s. More on the cyclone a little bit later, along with a preview of Radio Lollipop Day, a huge fundraiser for sick kids at our hospitals. Why all the Transperth staff will be dressed out of their uniform. I'll have more on that a little bit later. Nat?
We will see you then. Thank you, Lee. Up next on 10 News Perth. Tanker hit. A drone strike in Russia adds to global concerns over oil shortages. And disgraced actor Bill Cosby hit with a multi-million-dollar lawsuit.
Give it up for Jimmy Barr! Nuggy Bear!
Oh my God! From millions of followers.
So who's ready for some dim sim?
To Michelin stars.
Thank you very much.
The superstars of MasterChef.
You're joking. And he cooks.
Will bring it.
He's the Gordon Ramsay of TikTok.
Oh, got goosebumps.
This is something special. Such a dream come true.
MasterChef, coming in April to 10.
Turn your Tuesday into Tuesday with Domino's Tuesday deals. Buy one large premium or traditional pizza and get 50% off your second pizza.
Tuesday, baby!
Yep, get your second pizza half price. Tuesday only at Domino's.
And now, from big hair to big savings, real customer Christine saved $413 by switching to Yui. What's the secret? Is it like a secret code or something?
Just try 1 3 Yui Ed.
Yui, you insured.
Tough stains? No problem for Vanish Gold Pro Turbo.
These will take ages to come out.
It'll only take 30 minutes. Just 1 scoop of Vanish Gold Pro Turbo contains a unique accelerator system that turbocharges stain removal.
Trust Vanish, forget stains.
Come on, darling, up you up.
There's a glass and a half in everyone. Cadbury Hollow Easter eggs in store now.
Mitsubishi's 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing now includes 10 years roadside assistance.
Get out!
Drive away Triton GLXR from just $51,340 for ABN holders. Hurry into Mitsubishi today.
Sore throat? Trust Strepsils for soothing relief that's scientifically formulated. With dual action, Strepsils soothes a sore throat and helps fight bacteria. Or try Strepsils Extra for triple action to numb pain fast, help fight bacteria, and soothe the throat. Strepsils. Own every moment.
Axel? He has super hearing. Selective hearing.
Axel, come on, bud. Axel, stop.
Especially around dinner time.
Now you can hear me.
Supercoat with 22 essential vitamins and minerals to keep them super.
I don't know what the hell this is, but I do know it can't use a phone. Another big telco spends millions to build towers out here and charges customers for it. Vodafone doesn't because clearly nothing's out here except for massive chickens. Ah! Instead, Vodafone doubled their network, which now covers where 98 whatever % of you actually live. Genius.
Morning! Another great day at Discovery Parks.
Morning, Bruce.
Morning! Perfect, as always. That's more like it. Haha! Still bouncy. Hungry?
Yeah.
Just a little taste test.
Bruce.
What? Making sure everyone has the best holiday.
discoveryparks.com.au. Do it all.
It's World Cup lock-in time for the Combank Socceroos. Don't miss them take on Cameroon live Friday on 10 Drama and Paramount Plus.
To global concerns of oil shortages, Ukrainian drones have hit one of Russia's major export refineries at Primorsk. It set several reservoirs of fuel for export ablaze. The facility is capable of sending out 1 million barrels of crude oil each day. Repeated drone strikes have compromised tanker transport through the Black Sea. A Californian civil jury has found Bill Cosby liable for the drugging and sexually assaulting of a woman in 1972. The 88-year-old didn't testify in the two-week trial, which heard allegations by Donna Motzinger, who said Cosby invited her to his stand-up comedy show while she was working as a waitress. She claimed Cosby gave her wine with 2 pills she thought were aspirin and that she woke unclothed and certain she'd been raped. The jury awarded her almost $25 million, with more for future damages. Cosby was released from prison in 2021 after serving 3 years when a conviction for sexual assault was overturned. He remains free, with many of the 60 women to have alleged similar crimes now pursuing him in civil proceedings. A corgi is being credited for leading a pack of fellow dogs to safety. Spotted on a highway with retrievers, Labradors and an injured German Shepherd, the group was caught on camera wandering together by the roadside. After 230 million people viewed social media posts, it was revealed the dogs all came from the same village and had been stolen by thieves working for a butcher. The 7 animals escaped a truck, then made the 17-kilometre journey home, where they are safely back with their owners. No one has been charged with the dog napping. A young heart transplant recipient is rebuilding his life one step at a time. Reid was fit and healthy when at just 25 he suddenly was left fighting for life in intensive care.
Reid is lucky to be alive. In 2022, he collapsed on the footy field. The 25-year-old was in cardiac arrest.
I remember waking up in the ICU department at the PA hospital, and that was the next day.
Nurses broke the news he was in heart failure. After weeks in hospital, he returned home, but his condition worsened. Reid was in desperate need of a heart transplant.
It was probably one of my toughest moments, taking that on and sort of really realising what life might be like afterwards, and all the uncertainty about what my health was going to look like.
The world drops out from under you in that moment, and it was terrifying.
He had an agonising wait on the transplant list.
He had a pretty catastrophic bleed towards the end of his stay in ICU, and it was the morning after that they urgently listed him again because we were running out of time.
The medical heroes at the Prince Charles Hospital saved his life. Reid became the 500th person to receive a heart transplant.
And what was that moment like when you realised everything was going to be okay?
Every day we are grateful for that he can still live his life, that we've still got him. Our lives, could have looked very different.
He spent 80 days in the ICU, a total of 4 months in hospital. With intensive rehabilitation, he had to learn basic life skills once again: walking, eating.
He couldn't even stand without 3 people holding on to him. When you walk him 3 metres, it might be the equivalent of someone else doing a marathon.
Reid is back to doing what he loves. With plenty of sport on the agenda, he hopes to compete in the Australian Transplant Games at the end of the year.
I'm feeling better every day and really putting in the work to try and keep getting better and make the most of the second chance that I've been given.
Reid's true gift of life story, just one of many remarkable tales to emerge so far from the Prince Charles Hospital Foundation's 40th year of life-changing service. Brendan Smith, 10 News.
This is 10 News live from Perth, still to come. Pipe problems, the unlikely spike in costs households will soon pay for from the Iran war. And the push to eradicate a troubling pest from a remote WA island.
Just when you think the deal is done.
There's one more chance.
Would you like to spin the wheel? Yes! Spin that wheel! Let's go! The jackpot's coming around! There's a lot of money!
The deal wheel's here, 6:30 weeknights.
Bob Jane T-Mart's Epic Drive Sale now on, with thousands of tyres and wheels discounted. Want a free tyre? Buy 3 selected Bridgestone, Yokohama, Kumho, J-Trax or Hankook tyres and the 4th tyre's free. Up to $200 instant cashback on selected tyres. Plus 35% off selected brand new 17-inch Monster alloy wheels. No one beats our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Mart's, we'll look after you.
Come on, darling, up you hop. There's a glass and a half in everyone. Cadbury Hollow Easter eggs in store now.
I'm Nat from O'Brien. These cracks all started as chips. Happens a lot. We replace thousands of windscreens, but a chip repair is faster, cheaper and greener. And with car insurance, your repair is usually free. Book today.
Hey, Narelle, what's the opposite of a wrongin'? Saving $315 is what? Just ask UE customer Matt.
That's right, Ed. I switched to UE and I saved $315 on my car insurance.
$315? How's that?
Don't know, I just called them.
Must have been bowled over. Narelle, look out. This is my mystery ball. Oh, goodness. Whoa, she's out. Shop around, try UE, good. And still in mid-camera.
UE, you insured.
Amazing. Your body is growing a new organ. Your heart is pumping for 2. You've well and truly earned your stripes. And you're giving up alcohol for a while. Because you know any alcohol you drink passes directly to your baby and can interrupt their development. That's why if anyone can say,
No. No. No.
you can.
With less than 3% saturated fat, no artificial colours or flavours, gluten-free and protein-packed, Peppercorn Extra Lean is made for healthy appetites.
Get what you really want with Australia's #1 large SUV 2 years in a row. With $3K off the Ford Everest Trend. Available at participating Ford dealers now.
Hard work keeping flies off the menu? Try Aeroguard's UV Light Trap. It attracts and traps flying insects 24/7 and is chemical pesticide free. Trust Aeroguard.
Quitting smoking is hard, but every time you choose not to smoke, you improve your health. Download the new My Quit Buddy app and get support when you need it. Choose your heart.
Yeah, to me.
Find tools and support to quit. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
The big head honchos are dangerous.
You don't want to miss
Treat them like venomous snakes.
this epic move.
Take down a big player.
Good afternoon, Christy here taking a final check of your latest Perth traffic. There's a crash at the moment in Leeming, intersection of Farrington Road and Carroll Avenue. Police and ambulance are on site. Traffic is heavy through there. The earlier emergency works in Innaloo, Scarborough Beach Road at Grant Street, they're complete. It's all back open through there. Still a broken down truck in Victoria Park, Shepton Road southbound at Gresham Street. The left lane is closed there. Traffic is busy. The other broken down truck in Munster, Rockingham Road northbound at Russell Road, that has been cleared away. Every minute of every day, a child is admitted to hospital. Help make it a happier place with a $30 donation to the Starlight Foundation every month. Donate today at starlight.org.au. More traffic tomorrow.
Tonight's top stories. WA's northwest has been drenched from ex-tropical cyclone Narelle, with residents further south now on alert. It's likely to re-intensify into a severe tropical cyclone and make landfall between Exmouth and Perth. The man accused of running down a service station attendant over an unpaid bill will remain behind bars after facing court today. It comes as Australia's fuel crisis deepens, with hundreds of outlets running dry. And there are concerns about thinning shelves in our supermarkets. pasta and some dairy products among the basic items already running low amid warnings prices could spike. The price of plumbing is set to get more expensive with the Iran war affecting the manufacture of plastic pipes. Bathroom giant Reid has told customers its suppliers will be increasing prices by more than a third from mid-April. The war has resulted in a shortage of the materials which are needed to make the pipes, with the cost increase to be felt at all companies selling bathroom products. The state government has launched a new one-stop shop to help keep seniors at home and out of hospital. WA's first older adult health hub has opened its doors in Coburn. It houses a wide variety of wraparound healthcare services, including geriatric assessments, physiotherapy, medication management and memory and cognition support.
By 2036, 1 in 5 Western Australians will be aged over 65. So it's really important that we continue to plan for how older West Australians can get access to the healthcare that they need.
The Coburn Hub is the first of 3 centres to be built in a $24 million election commitment by the Cook government. A world-first project is underway off the Kimberley coast. Conservationists are trying to eradicate an invasive mouse species on WA's most remote nature reserve to help its bird population return.
It may be small, but it poses a big threat. The Southeast Asian house mouse to be eradicated off Browse Island.
This is the first time that an eradication has been attempted for house mice anywhere in the world that's using drones. It's a pretty ambitious project. It's especially ambitious when you think about how remote we are.
Browse, which sits 180 kilometres off the Kimberley coast, was extensively mined for guano or bird poo, forcing birdlife to abandon the island.
We know that Browse Island was once thriving with seabirds. What we'd love to see here is the island to return to that incredibly beautiful state.
The rodent population soared when mining ceased in the early 1900s, the critters posing a biosecurity threat to mainland Australia and impacting the returning seabirds.
They have quite a disruptive behaviour there, and we've seen birds that regularly abandon their nests because of that disturbance. They probably have a predatory effect on the eggs or potentially the chicks as well.
If we can't protect them during their breeding, then that's a real problem for the seabird populations.
700 kilograms of bait dropped over the entire 17-hectare island. No easy feat.
You don't get 1 little square metre, then the mice can just hang out in that area and they might have enough food within that area and then start breeding again.
You only have to eat a very, very small amount of it in order to have consumed the lethal dose.
The team will return in April to conduct a full survey to see if any mice can be detected. If not, the rodent will be officially declared eradicated in October.
And we're obviously hoping for zeros.
Grace Barlow, 10 News.
Time for sport now with Lachy, Reid. And Lock, the injury lists are out.
They certainly are, Nat, and Dr Hayden Young remains sidelined with a hamstring injury. Plus, Milan to miss, the Eagles' surprise packet suffers an injury setback. And slip sliding away, Long John Daly dishes out the laughs with this bunker blooper.
It's World Cup lock-in time for the Combank Socceroos.
They've done it!
Don't miss them take on Cameroon here in Australia.
Unbelievable!
Live Friday on 10 Drama and Paramount Plus.
Bob Jane T-Mart's Epic Drive Sale now on, with thousands of tyres and wheels discounted. Want a free tyre? Buy 3 selected Bridgestone, Yokohama, Kumho, J-Trax or Hankook tyres and the 4th tyre's free. Up to $200 instant cashback on selected tyres. Plus 35% off selected brand new 17-inch Monster alloy wheels. No one beats our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Mart's, we'll look after you.
Australia needs energy. We need it to create jobs, to produce food, to drive industry. We need it to grow and prosper. Because without a reliable source of affordable energy, like the natural gas produced by Australia's Woodside, we cannot maintain our standard of living or hope to improve it. Help meet Australia's energy needs for now and generations to come? Challenge accepted. Woodside, Australia's leading energy company.
Maybelline New York New Lifter Foundation for plump, glowy skin and 24 hours of hydration. With niacinamide and hyaluronic acid, it's foundation that acts like skincare. New Lifter Plump and Glow Foundation.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Forgot this?
Love you, Dad.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Craft Acor's hot summer sale is on now. There's timber looks, large formats, subways, cement look, marble looks, hybrid flooring and more. Craft Acor, best tiles, best prices. Cannington, Joondalup, Mandurah, Osborne Park and South Fremantle.
Carl, can a can of Glen 20 take care of my pillows?
Can do.
Dog smell?
Can do.
Bin juice stink?
Of course it can. You can eliminate more germs and odours with Glen 20 every day. It's the Can Do Can.
We're building a state of energy in Western Australia, delivering more energy, more affordable energy, cleaner energy, building new generation and new infrastructure to meet our energy needs and the world's, creating new jobs in construction, manufacturing and technology. There's always been an energy about Western Australia, in our industries and in our people. So together, let's continue to build a state of energy. Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Sometimes you cook the delicious meal. Sometimes it's cooked for you, like Macca's delicious new Bistro Bernays Angus. Compliments to the chef. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
She's from the real world. Is she the royal that holds all the power?
If she's not the heartbeat of the family, I don't know who is.
Wednesday on 10.
Welcome to sport, everyone. Hayden Young is set to miss at least 3 weeks of footy as he battles a hamstring injury, but could be ready for the Derby in round 6. Brendan Cox and O'Meara are a chance for their first game of the season. Walker also a test after being a late withdrawal on the weekend, which was not now has been identified as a quad injury, while Michael Frederick still has a month to go in his rehab. Young was restricted to light duties at training today as Freo tried to gather more information. A scary sight with Luke Jackson joining in with the rehab group, but he is managing just a cork thigh and is available for selection. As reported on 10 News last night, it's been confirmed Patrick Voss has spoken to the leadership team about the taunting incident. Shea Bolton has backed his teammates' edge.
He's pretty remorse about it, and we like him playing how he is, and we know he can get a bit fiery, but at the end of the day, it's just a game of football.
As well as inheriting Sonny Walters as number 10, Bolton is also following in his mentoring footsteps, taking on young gunner Isaiah Dudley under his wing.
If I can teach him anything or give him little pointers to make his footy better, I'll try my best. He's a little superstar, like he can get down, and also he's got a little body, but he just gets down under, and he's going to be a good player for us.
Certainly is. The AFL are monitoring Cyclone Narelle ahead of the Dockers and Tigers clash on Saturday. Gun mature age recruit Milan Murdoch has joined a growing pool of players ruled out of AFL action due to a hamstring injury. With no timeline on his return, Murdoch could miss more than Sunday's clash against Port Adelaide. Brandon Starcevic, also a TBC due to a knee and calf issue. Harry Edwards with no return date after his second concussion in 3 weeks. Andy Brock a test to return to a depleted defence. Liam Baker and Jamie Cripps in the clear to play after an ankle and shoulder concern respectively. A blast from the past as West Coast unveiled their famous or infamous ochre Guernsey to be worn for Gather Round. Premiership player and Norm Smith medalist Andrew Embley knows the jumper well and sees similarities between the two groups.
I think after that first win that we had, we didn't have many in there, but I must admit, I do see a few similarities between the team back in 2001 and 2002 that wore that jumper and this group right now. There's a really good young group coming through, like we did, back in 2001 and 2, and it takes a little bit of time.
Gather Round seeing West Coast come up against the Cats at Norwood Oval in round 5. Paul Hazelby likes what he sees at West Coast, and he isn't talking about the retro Guernsey, rating the Eagles' tall forwards as the most promising in the comp. At Freo, he wants Pat Voss to live on the edge. Here's Hayes with Steve Allen.
Hayes, what do we think of the taunt? Is it okay?
Well, you tell me about the taunt. I don't think it's okay. And the AFL very, very strong with their conviction. They don't want this in the game. Look, he probably overstepped the line a little bit, but I don't want him to lose that enforcer tag. The Dockers have been crying out for that enforcer, that alpha forward of centre. He needs to continue to play on the edge and be like that. But I just want to see consistency. They did say the tribunal that it was based on the potential to cause a melee. Well, Reid had the potential to call a melee with what he did, but he copped nothing. So let's be consistent, AFL.
Score out of 4, the Eagles could have the best forward line in the competition in 3 years' time.
4. I love what I saw. They had 4 key targets led by Waterman. We know he's a star, but Cooper Duff-Title was fantastic. Shanahan, the rising star. And I thought Archer Reid was the one that got them going in the second quarter. Those 4, if you throw in 2 gun small forwards, they will be the best combo in 3 years' time.
Score out of 4, fashion is fickle. How about this for a Guernsey?
Oh, I've seen this before. This was around when I was playing. That's how old it is. But as we know, it comes back into fashion, and that's clear to see. I don't think the fans were a big favourite back then, but it looks like now they've got around it. But it doesn't matter what it looks like as long as they play well in it.
It's time for Hayes' hair-raising moment. Thanks to Ashley and Martin. Hayes, what's caught your eye?
Well, this year could be a bit different. We want something quirky from community footy. Send it in. $5,000 up for grabs. Could be kangaroos on the field. Could be a great goal, a great mark. Might even be a little dog that runs onto the field. One like this. This is my own, called Okie. Could be anything. You send it in. We'll put you on Channel 10 every Tuesday.
Good on you, Hayes. Well done to you. The curious case of what's wrong with Essendon took another strange turn today with confirmation one-away former skipper Zach Merritt is back in the leadership mix.
A squad under fire after Sunday's Port Adelaide horror show, but today senior players weren't shirking any responsibility.
We're extremely disappointed, I guess, with our output, our performance on the day. Us players are definitely taking ownership for that. It's not the way we want to play, it's not the way we've trained and prepared all pre-season.
In the aftermath of Sunday's belting, Brad Scott suggested the players were selfish.
To think about themselves.
Langford disagrees, but conceded handling pressure might be a bigger problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's selfishness. I think that's a pretty strong word, but I think we do have a group that, when the pressure's on us, we might buckle a little bit.
Langford confirmed a post-game crisis meeting was held in Adelaide on Sunday night, and then this morning former skipper Zach Merritt was invited back into the leadership tent just months after a failed walkout.
But Zach's got so much experience. He's our most experienced, our eldest player. His insights would be lost if we didn't include him in a lot of these chats.
And while the pressure on the coach continues to grow, Langford is urging long-suffering Bombers fans to stick fat with Scott's long-term plan.
I'm telling you, it's all of us. The fight's there. The players are hungry. Our young players, as we've seen, they're really starting to come on. It's just the rest of us holding up our end of the bargain.
Nick Butler, 10 News.
They used to be arch rivals, but now former two-time UFC middleweight champ Israel Adesanya has turned to his former Aussie arch nemesis to help him reverse his fortunes. The 36-year-old telling Brooke East retirement isn't on the agenda.
It's been over a year since the last stylebender stepped into the octagon, following his costly call to fight on from an eye poke led to a brutal knockout loss.
I performed well in my last fight, but I just made a slight mistake in an adjustment, so I've corrected those mistakes. I just want to go in there and perform and show off. That way I can get what I want, which is a win.
The 4th-ranked Kiwi faces 14th-ranked Joe Pyfer on an upwards trajectory of his own.
This has been one of the best training camps yet, just because I didn't feel like I was worn out at any point.
One of the UFC's ugliest rivalries has been put to bed. Despite losing to him twice, Aussie Rob Whittaker joined Adesanya in Auckland to train.
Now, I have a quote here that he said around 10 years ago, I would have tried hitting him with my car if I could have. How do you go from rivals to friends?
Look, we're all just kindred spirits on the same journey. One of the greatest in this game, who's been at the heights of the heights. We understand each other, and we're both just nerds who just like to kick ass.
Look, age is always just a number. You are 36. You said before that you are feeling unstoppable. I guess how many more do you feel like you've got left?
It's good to know, but you can't really know because life happens. Life happens, you know. So how many more do I have left? God knows.
Sunday's result will have little influence.
And I'll walk in there and take care of business.
Brooke East, 10 News.
As debate continues around country allegiances ahead of the World Cup, Socceroos midfielder Alex Robertson insists he's 100% green and gold. The 22-year-old is a third-generation Australian representative, but is also eligible to play for Scotland, England and Peru. In fine touch for Cardiff City, he wants to use the upcoming friendlies to secure a spot in the squad.
There was never really any thought to go anywhere else. It was always Australia. I couldn't really think to play for any other country than Australia.
Well, skipper Matt Ryan says what doesn't kill you makes you stronger after missing the birth of his first child to play for his Spanish team. The new addition adding some life perspective. Australia has secured a series clean sweep against the West Indies with a 40-run DLS win in match 3. Georgia Vole helping set up the team, smashing a century for the memory books from 52 balls.
What a special moment for the 22-year-old from Toowoomba, Queensland. Her first ever T20 international century.
A special occasion also for debutante quick Lucy Hamilton snaring her first wickets. In a 2-minute stretch today, Victor Wembanyama showed why he's on his way to dominating the NBA. A block was followed by a little pass that set up a bucket. Then came the unguardable dunks as the Spurs smashed the Heat.
That was Victor's 4,000th career point. Gets it right back, takes 2 jumps. Oh my goodness. Taking over here in Miami, timeout. The tongue's out.
He's completely dominated the last 5 possessions.
Even without the injured Cade Cunningham, Detroit ended the Lakers' 9-game winning streak, hanging on to win 113 to 110. John Daly has taken a fall many times in his life, but this bunker shot almost proved his undoing on the course. Thankfully, his golfing buddies were quick to react with the rescue mission. We think he's okay, but for having a laugh at his own expense. Long John Daly also slides away with our play of the day. That is all in sports.
Not a good day in the office. Thanks, love.
Safe on my chair.
Coming up next, Lee has your full forecast. Don't do it, you'll break something.
Just when you think the deal is done.
There's one more chance.
Would you like to spin the wheel? Yeah! Spin that wheel! Let's go! The jackpot's coming around! There's a lot of money!
The deal wheel's here, 6:30 weeknights.
Turn your Tuesday into Tuesday with Domino's Tuesday deals. Buy 1 large premium or traditional pizza and get 50% off your second pizza.
Tuesday, baby!
Yep, get your second pizza half price. Tuesday only at Domino's.
The Tasman Single Cab Chassis, now available for ABN holders from just $39,990 drive away. See your local Kia dealer now.
Kia, movement that inspires.
In a bit of a mess? Pino Clean has 3 times multi-action power to clean, disinfect and freshen. It's not clean unless it's Pino Clean.
Amazing. Your body is growing a new organ. Your heart is pumping for 2. You've well and truly earned your stripes. And you're giving up alcohol for a while. Because you know any alcohol you drink passes directly to your baby and can interrupt their development. That's why if anyone can say, no, 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 you can.
How far would you go to keep your home smelling fresh? Try Airwick 24/7 fragrance. Aerosol-free automatic spray infused with 2 times more essential oil for up to 70 days of freshness. Now that's a breath of fresh Airwick.
Next Level dog people give their dogs next level protection with NexGuard Spectra. It's the most complete protection against fleas, ticks, mites, worms and even heartworm, all in one tasty monthly chew. Next level protection with NexGuard Spectra.
Come on, Mario.
scared. The Super Mario Galaxy Movie.
Heartburn and indigestion can be unpredictable, whether it's chest burning, throat burning, or stomach discomfort. Gaviscon Dual Action starts to work from just 4 minutes and forms a barrier. For fast, long-lasting and soothing relief, use Gaviscon.
Hey Narelle, what's the opposite of a wrongin? Saving $315 is what? Just ask UE customer Matt.
That's right, Ed. I switched to UE and I saved $315 on my car insurance.
$315? How's that?
Don't know, I just called them.
Must have been bowled over. Narelle, look out. This is my mystery ball. Oh, goodness. Whoa, 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 she's out. Shop around, try UE. Good. It's still in mid-camera.
UE, you insured.
Hello, this is Lifeline. May we help you?
Being there for people when they need it most. To me, that's big.
There are wedding bells on the hot seat.
$1 million? What will you do with that?
They will go to the wedding, I reckon.
Gladys, any words of advice? Just get it right.
Just get it right.
Which country's capital is the only one to begin with the letter Q?
Up next at 6, we track down the security guard who's gone viral over his take-no-prisoners approach to troublemakers.
And feta, parmesan and romano. What free trade with Europe means for Aussie cheese. 10 News Plus is next.
Time for more weather with Lee Steele. And Lee, the morning commute will look a little different tomorrow.
It will, Nat. All of the bus drivers and PTA staff will be dressed very differently tomorrow as part of their only uniform-free day, raising money for Radio Lollipop. We have some volunteers with us from Radio Lollipop, Headley and Kirsten. We also have Charlotte from the PTA. Charlotte, firstly, tell us all about what is happening tomorrow.
Well, big day tomorrow. 31 years of Radio Lollipop. We are so excited. We've got all our staff ready, dressed up, so they'll be rattling tins. You can pay via contactless. Even if you're not travelling tomorrow, go to our website. They'll give you all the options for how you can donate to this very worthy cause.
It certainly is a worthy cause. The founder of Radio Lollipop is also here. Headley, where does the money go?
Well, we're a play organisation and we work with kids in hospital, so we're working with them in the Radio Lollipop studio and at the bedside. So we spend the money on toys, games, prizes, competitions, craft equipment, so we can actually work with the kids.
And what is it like seeing them smile during such a hard time?
We're very lucky to be able to be there with them, and we're able to actually turn a lot of the maybe not such good days into a craft day or a happy day where they can win a prize and when they can actually hear their name on the radio, they can choose the music we're playing, and they can come into the studio and be the DJ.
Yeah, it's an amazing cause. You guys do such a great job. So plenty of volunteers will be out tomorrow shaking their tins, raising money for Radio Lollipop. So don't forget to bring some spare change with you for the commute tomorrow. Okay, let's have a look at the forecast now. Obviously, it's all about ex-tropical cyclone Narelle, which is swirling off the northwest coast, generating storms and heavy rain. The system has moved offshore into warmer than average waters, allowing it to strengthen. There is still plenty of uncertainty over when and where it'll make landfall and at what strength. It will move parallel to the Pilbara coast tomorrow and Thursday, tracking south before making a coastal crossing for the 4th time, somewhere between Exmouth and Perth. The further south it makes landfall, the weaker it is predicted to be. Rainfall totals will be hundreds of millimetres in 24 to 48 hours, anywhere in these northwest coastal areas, and then showers will increase in the central west on Thursday or Friday, the rain spreading into Perth and the southwest on the weekend. Looking around the country to the major cities, sunny in Sydney, showers and storms throughout a large part of WA from tomorrow, up to 30 millimetres for Broome, Port Hedland and Karratha, Newman also wet and stormy. A day of sunshine for Carnarvon, the calm before the possible cyclone, dry and warm in Bunbury. A gusty morning in Midland, Kalamunda, Armidale and Rottnest. Sunny skies throughout the suburbs though, and we'll have maximums around 30 degrees. On the water, strong southeasterly winds once again, 15 to 20 knots. Seas and swell both 1.5 metres, and seas becoming fairly rough from Saturday. That is when we are going to see the impacts of ex-tropical cyclone Narelle come into Perth. The city forecast now, staying generally settled tomorrow, sunny and 32 degrees. Similar weather on Thursday, partly cloudy and 32. Then a dramatic shift on Friday. We're expecting between 20 to 40 millimetres of rain. We could get even more on Saturday under the influence of Narelle. Wind and showers easing on Sunday. A few showers lingering next Monday and Tuesday. We'll have plenty more on this system in 10 News tomorrow night.
Track down Macca, the security man, the bike-hurling, punch-throwing guard who's gone viral for his take-no-prisoners approach at this suburban shopping centre.
Because the people, they know I'm a good man.
I don't believe he went too far at all.
So we actually think he's a hero.
Aussie cheese as we please. From mozzarella to feta, Hugh Remington discovers what our free trade deal with Europe means for this family business. Even Prosecco is back on the wine list, but why do some farmers feel they've been left out in the paddock?
Peace talks or fake news? Donald Trump and Iran can't even agree on whether they've spoken. But who had a heads up on what the president was about to say? And